Jason Bateman as Michael Bluth. Jason Bateman was the glue holding everything and everyone, barely together as Michael Bluth. The one normal in a family of lunatics, he tried to keep the business alive, his son grounded, and his dignity intact. But the harder he tried, the more everything fell apart. Michael was the straight man in a comedy of chaos. Need sanity in the middle of madness? Like, subscribe, and stay loyal to Michael Bluth. Portia de Rossi as Lindsay Bluth Funk. Portia de Rossi played Lindsay, glamorous, selfish, and always chasing a cause she didn't really believe in. She was the kind of activist who protested fur while wearing leather boots. Married to a never nude, mother to a wild child, and committed to absolutely nothing. Lindsay was beautifully clueless, and that's what made her gold. Love your comedy with a side of vanity? Like, subscribe, and live the Lindsay life. Will Arnett as Gob Bluth. Will Arnett brought chaotic energy to Gob. Part magician, part disaster, all ego. With a segue under him and a bad idea in his head, Gob lived for attention and applause, even if no one was clapping. From his illusions to chicken dances, Gob made failure hilarious. Come on. Like, subscribe, and let the magic of Gob ruin your day, in the best way. Michael Cera as George Michael Bluth. Michael Cera made George Michael the awkward, lovable teen trapped in the world's most dysfunctional family. He crushed on his cousin, ran a frozen banana stand, and tried desperately to be normal. But growing up Bluth? Not a chance. He was sweet, shy, and constantly overwhelmed. Cringe laugh your way through adolescence? Like, subscribe, and root for George Michael. Alia Shawkat as Maybe Funk. Alia Shawkat made Maybe the ultimate teen con artist, turning rebellion into a career before she could drive. From fake movie exec to fake student, she lied better than most adults and always played the game. But underneath the scams, a kid just trying to figure it all out. Want trouble with a smirk? Like, subscribe, and keep up with Maybe Funk. Tony Hale as Buster Bluth. Tony Hale was unforgettable as Buster, the grown man-child who never cut the cord literally. Smothered by his mother, terrified of everything, and somehow lost a hand to a Lucille. Buster was anxious, lovable, and the show's most unexpected wildcard. Need a hug and a laugh? Like, subscribe, and let Buster baby you through the chaos. David Cross as Tobias Funk. David Cross gave us Tobias, a never-nude, failed actor, and self-proclaimed anal rapist, analyst plus therapist. Relax. Everything he said was wildly inappropriate, unintentionally hilarious, and somehow worse out loud. Tobias wasn't just clueless. He made clueless an art form. Love awkward with a capital cringe? Like, subscribe, and blue yourself for Tobias Funk. Jeffrey Tambor as George Bluth Sr. Jeffrey Tambor played George Bluth Sr., a corrupt real estate tycoon who started it all. One minute he's faking his death, the next he's teaching prison yoga. Whether hiding assets or switching places with his twin brother, George Sr. proved one thing. He may be locked up, but he's always in control. Like your villains with a smirk and an ankle monitor? Like, subscribe, and follow George Sr.'s latest scheme. Jessica Walter as Lucille Bluth. Jessica Walter gave us Lucille, sharp-tongued, martini-fueled, and the real head of the family. Whether belittling her children or bribing staff, Lucille did it all with elegance and disdain. She didn't raise her family, she ruled them, with an iron fist and a gin glass. Love queens who don't blink? Like, subscribe, and bow to Lucille Bluth's shady reign. Ron Howard as the narrator. Ron Howard wasn't just the voice, he was the conscience of the show. With perfect timing and dry sarcasm, his narration turned every lie, twist, and disaster into comedy gold. He told you what the Bluths really meant, and what they definitely didn't. Enjoy truth bombs with a wink? Like, subscribe, and let Ron Howard guide the chaos. Henry Winkler as Barry Zuckerman. Henry Winkler played Barry Zuckerman, the world's worst lawyer, but somehow always employed. He was distracted, sleazy, and legally questionable. Whether he was surfing during court or forgetting who he was defending, Barry made failure funny. Need legal advice you should never take? Like, subscribe, and trust Barry Zuckerman kind of. John Beard as himself. John Beard played the fictional version of himself, the ever-present news anchor reporting every Bluth meltdown with perfect deadpan delivery. If something went wrong in Orange County, Beard was there, camera ready. Like meta-comedy and media madness? Like subscribe and watch the news. Bluth style. Liza Minnelli as Lucille Austero, Lucille 2. Liza Minnelli brought charm and dizzy drama as Lucille 2. Lucille Bluth's frenemy, with a balance problem and a heart of gold. She fell for Buster, fought for real estate, and fainted more times than anyone on cable TV. Love a diva with vertigo and vintage flair? Like, subscribe, and stand carefully with Lucille 2. MayWhitman as Enveal. MayWhitman made Enveal unforgettable by being so forgettable. Bland, sweet, and constantly insulted by the Bluths, especially Michael. Whether she was egg, bland, or her, and stuck around like beige wallpaper. And that's what made her hilarious. Want a slow burn joke that still hits? Like, subscribe and never forget. Enveal. Who? Exactly. Justin Grant Wade as Steve Holt. Steve Holt. Justin Grant Wade made the high school jock with a heart of gold into a fan favorite and surprised Bluth. Loud, proud, and not always bright, Steve was always ready with a fist pump and a shout of his own name. Turns out, his biggest win wasn't football. It was finding out he was family. Want energy, heart, and a little confusion? Like, subscribe and shout it loud. Steve Holt. Ed Begley Jr. as Stan Sitwell. Ed Begley Jr. played Stan Sitwell, the mild-mannered real estate rival who somehow stayed decent in a world full of Bluths. With his calm demeanor and fake eyebrows, Sitwell was the straight shooter in a town of con men. And for some reason, he kept giving them second chances. Respect the rare good guy? Like, subscribe, and stand strong with Stan Sitwell. Isla Fisher as Rebel Ally. Isla Fisher brought chaos with charm as Rebel Ally, a free-spirited actress, the daughter of Ron Howard, and love interest to both Michael and George Michael. Her relationships were confusing, her motives unclear, but her effect on the Bluths? Total meltdown. Like your love triangles completely twisted? Like, subscribe and chase Rebel Ally down every wrong turn. Maria Bamford as Debris Bardau. Maria Bamford was the wonderfully weird Debris Bardau, a struggling actress and recovering addict who found love with Tobias. She was quirky, sweet, and lived in a Fantastic Four costume for longer than anyone should. Debris was pure chaos, but you couldn't look away. Love a mess with a heart? Like, subscribe, and go off script with Debris Bardau. Kyle Mooney as Murphy Brown. Kyle Mooney played Murphy Brown, a confused, possibly delusional man-child caught in Rebel Ally's strange film-within-a-show romance web. With his signature awkward delivery and deadpan confusion, Murphy Brown was peak Mooney in a Bluth-level plot. Enjoy fourth-wall-breaking absurdity? Like, subscribe, and meet Murphy Brown, whoever he is. Judy Greer as Kitty Sanchez. Judy Greer was unhinged perfection as Kitty Sanchez, George Sr.'s volatile assistant with no boundaries and zero filter. From flashing the boardroom to vanishing in a cloud of chaos, Kitty was the ultimate HR nightmare. Want scandal, secrets, and say goodbye to these? Like, subscribe, and keep an eye on Kitty Sanchez. B.W. Gonzalez as Lupe. B.W. Gonzalez played Lupe, the Bluth family's long-suffering housekeeper who endured Lucille's insults, Gob's confusion, and Lindsay's performative wokeness. Quiet, observant, and often underestimated, Lupe saw it all and said nothing mostly. Respect the silent MVP? Like, subscribe, and never forget Lupe's patience deserves an award. Justin Lee as Yong Bluth. Justin Lee made Yong one of the most unexpected payoffs in the entire show. Adopted just to spite Lucille, this polite Korean teen kept saying Yong, which literally means hello. But in the end, he wasn't just comic relief, he was out for revenge. Love a long game with a twist? Like, subscribe and say hello to Yong. Christine Taylor as Sally Sitwell. Christine Taylor played Sally Sitwell, Stan's daughter and Michael's sorta kinda love interest. Smart, sharp, and not afraid to go toe-to-toe with the Bluths, Sally was everything Michael thought he wanted, until he blew it Bluth style. Want power, charm, and corporate shade? Like, subscribe, and root for Sally Sitwell. Jeff Garland as Mort Myers. Jeff Garland popped in as Mort Myers, the TV exec who saw dollar signs in the Bluth mess. Loud, impatient, and TV obsessed, Mort didn't care about integrity. He wanted ratings. And honestly, who wouldn't watch a show about that family? Love showbiz satire? Like, subscribe, and pitch a pilot with Mort Myers. Ben Stiller as Tony Wonder. Ben Stiller brought ego and eyeliner to life as Tony Wonder, Gob's arch-rival magician and over-the-top showman. From fake resurrections to romantic misfires, Tony was all flash and fake stubble. Magic, drama, and mystery? He had it all, or at least he acted like he did. Crave drama with glitter on top? Like, subscribe, and disappear into Tony Wonder's world.